Episode 4 of the UnCommon UnCommon Talk podcast. I am Rob Tyson, sitting here with Ross Bennett and Ryan Crater. Special guest, Matt Neese with Schaller Stuba. Did I say that correctly?
That's correct.
Oh man, I'm not even gonna lie. I saw that damn thing and I was like, dude, I'm gonna eat all that right there. You better keep that away from me.
There's 4 hot dogs, 4 of us. And they're not hot dogs. They're fancy dogs.
Well, mine's gone.
Yeah.
Well, that's mine.
Oh yeah. So why don't we just get right into it? Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah,
man.
What's up here?
Give us a little spiel on Schaller Stuba.
Well,
I love saying that.
Is,
by the way, dude.
hold on. My name's Matt Neese, and
Yeah.
I've been in Austin 30 years. And are you gonna? Well, hold on. I was gonna put curry sauce on.
Ooh. So tell us a little about the one you're dressing up.
So
right
this
now.
is currywurst. Actually, we're jumping right into it.
Going right into it.
Yeah. We're gonna throw a little curry sauce on here.
Make some hair grow on your
And
chest,
I
bro.
didn't, let's see. I got some
Yeah,
curry
that's some
powder.
Some stout beer there.
So we're
Yeah, it's pretty
basically
stout.
we're giving you a little bit of a taste of our knockwurst with some curry powder and currywurst, which is a very popular dish in Berlin with fries. I didn't bring your fries, but I'm going to put a little bit more sauce.
Well, tell us about what.
Yeah. So tell us, you're dressing up this curry sausage right now. Tell us about the currywurst. Tell us about kind of where the family came from and why you decided to kind of what's it all about.
Yeah, well, the company that started this concept is Schaller and Weber. It's out of New York, Upper East Side, 86th and 2nd, and that's where the Germans migrated to in the late 1800s. So
New York City.
New York City, yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so we basically,
Salsa.
my dear friend Jeremy Schaller is the grandson of the founder of the company, and they do really strong business across the country in charcuterie and high-end meats and all the high-end grocery stores and restaurants across the country. So he became president 2 years ago, Schaller and Weber, and I know it's pretty awesome.
Stings the nostrils.
So he basically decided when he took over the helm of Schaller and Weber that he wanted to create a concept that would reach out to a younger demographic, that the millennials, if you will.
So it was a classic mom and pop founded sausage company.
85-year-old company. Yeah.
85-year-old
Wow.
company.
That's insane.
They from the factory they started putting in the grocery stores.
Well, it actually started as a butcher shop.
A butcher shop.
100 years,
86
yeah,
and
85
I
years
know
ago on
exactly
the Upper
where
East
that
Side,
is.
yeah. And so they basically started as a butcher, and in the original Stuba, which is our concept that we're talking about today, started. It's actually in an old meat locker of the butcher shop where they used to actually roll the hogs in.
So what is a stuba?
Stuba is a room in German.
Okay.
That's German word for room. Excuse me. And no, you don't want to put curry on the classic. The classics are strictly
You
sauerkraut.
can have this if you want. God, that's good.
Yeah, we can
Strictly
share.
sauerkraut
Yeah.
and mustard.
I'm just gonna-
is-
You
my
know the
favorite
food's
kind
good
of-
Yeah,
if
I'm
just gonna
the
dig
owner
in.
is making sure you get the palate right.
So that's
in
the
flavor mix.
That's the classic and the best-selling item we have on the menu.
So
it's
80
clean and delicious
Wow.
and very German.
All right, 85-year-old
Jesus
company
Christ.
from New York. How long you had it open here in Austin?
Well, so there's another step before that.
Okay.
So, Jeremy, you said that it took over the company,
Holy shit,
but he
that's
just
good.
wanted to take it from like a completely different way from doing just the origins of the butcher shop. The company was ready for a transformation, and Jeremy was the guy to do that.
That's right. Yeah, he's a 40-year-old entrepreneur who's very in tune with what the public wants, and he's done a
That
great
is so good.
great job of creating this in a German fare, if you will, and a more Americanized product in the hot dog style, sausage dog. And so basically, it took off in New York. It's been
He opened a restaurant.
Well, he opened.
He opened.
Yes, he opened a brick and mortar next to his butcher shop, and like I said, in the old meat locker there next
Smart.
door. And it's a walk-up window with a small room, hence the name Stuba.
Tell us about a walk-up window.
A walk-up window is basically very much like what you see at the Burger Bar here in Austin.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in New York, that's a very big thing because people
Very
are on
prominent.
the move.
Yeah, I see that a lot.
Yeah.
Two
I was
Bros
there.
Pizza is like my favorite. That's just
Yeah.
walk up right through,
Sure.
walk out $2 for 2 slices of pie.
So instead of going sit at a restaurant, like actually having to wait for a table, get the waiter, sit down, there's a window facing out to the sidewalk from the restaurant.
With a deli
with-
case full of the sausages and
Yeah.
so forth. Yeah.
And then people could just get in line. It's quick service to get their hot dogs. Right?
Yeah, and I think that's where the food business is going today.
Stubas.
Is a counter service concept. People are on the move. People want to get their food quick, and I think it's inexpensive, and so that's really what they started out to do, and has done a great job. They were rated the #1 hot dog in New York, according to the New York Times.
No, I mean,
because of the. What about the chef?
The chef, Claire. Well, the chef, the consulting chef, if you will, is Claire Robinson, and she's from. She's had many shows on the Food Network and has done an extensive job with developing the recipes and the menus, and help them launch the product. And she does some ongoing recipe consulting and so forth with Charlotte Weber and Stuba in New York.
Cool.
Yeah.
What sets this apart though? Because I just bit into this thing like 5 minutes ago, and I'm like, holy shit!
Well,
Like it's not a normal hot dog, man. It's like it's just
so good. What do
dynamic,
you
man.
get? What's
Like you
up
got
with
all you get. Like what?
I think it's that one.
How did you? What
that's
sets
a
it
classic
apart?
as well.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Like what sets the
Yeah.
meat apart? Like what's
Well,
special about
here's,
it?
You know, the encouraging thing we've had since we've been open. This is our 4th week on Third and Congress, and the
Fourth
encouraging-
week?
Third and Congress is where you're at?
Third and Congress, yeah. And the encouraging thing that we have seen so far, I've been working the window, hands-on owner, and
That's up. That's
I think
what's
I
up.
really need to be out there with our customers and developing the brand, and it's been a blast. I mean, we basically see a lot of people every day of all walks, and they're loving it, which is very encouraging. And I get that same question, like from a really dear friend of mine who owns a ranch in Central Texas that they have Longhorns and they make their own sausage and all that. And he basically goes, man, I've been making sausage for years. And this is unbelievable. How do you get the casing to pop and well, there's 2 answers. First of all, it's been made by a German family for, like I said, 85 years, and they've got this authenticity that just comes through the flavor of the meat, and the way that they prepare it, they smoke it, and we basically warm and grill and put the recipes together here locally, and you know, I think it's just the family passion of getting the recipes right over the years and the way that we prepare it, and people just love the authenticity of it.
Yeah.
Authenticity, passion.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hands-on business
Yeah.
owner.
So
If you're not listening to keywords, if you're listening out there on how to do things, guys, with businesses, sorry, I'm eating. This is so fucking good.
I'm not eating because I will have it in my beer.
Too pretty, whatever.
No,
Sorry.
it's not pretty. I was
Sorry, I can't grow a beard.
Don't discuss people.
But at the end of the day,
This
the
is
3
Ryan
words that he
Krager
did say:
2.0 right here.
the sausage is authentic from an authentic 85-year-old family.
Yeah.
Made locally hereby with the same mindset of building the sausage. And that he's a hands-on business owner. Let's talk about that for a second, because you jokingly said something to me outside, and you said, is it all right if I wear my hat? Because why? You said...
Well, first of all, I've been a cowboy for a long time in my spare time, if you will. I've been a
Sure.
suit guy in business for almost 35 years, but in my spare time, I'll throw a hat on.
Hey, I feel you on that one.
And
It works.
you know, I'm from Amarillo, Texas. I've been in Austin again 30 years, and it's Texas, man. And when the tourists, who a lot of our customers are, when they come to downtown, what do you want to see when you come to Austin? Or when you come to Texas?
Yeah, we gotta
Somebody in a cowboy hat.
Yeah,
There's a
see some
cowboy.
horses and some cowboy hats, man.
So third and Congress.
Boots.
But
I
it's,
know
but
it
it's
really
not
well.
a show. I am a
boots.
cowboy in my spare time.
I got any boots on.
My old,
Well, you
old
can't-
office used to be covered in deer heads and wild turkeys everywhere on the wall. And
I don't even.
You
My
can't,
wife decided
you
to
can't,
open a
you
gallery
can't,
so
you
there's
can't
no
say
hands
you're a
allowed.
real cowboy on the side and then not explain that.
Well,
What do you do?
I just think that the fact is I'm conscious of the branding, and we want to put a Texas flair.
No,
on-
but like, what do you do in your spare time to be a cowboy?
Oh, in my spare time. Well, my wife and I, Angie, will go to Marfa at least twice a year. And
I've
we
never
were-
been
We
yet.
were married there a year ago. And
In Marfa.
yeah,
That's cool.
We just celebrated our year anniversary in Marfa. And we just fell in love with the whole West Texas. I mean, I'm from Amarillo, which is northwest Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's face it, West Texas at the Big Bend area is just about as pretty as it gets. I think it's a beautiful part of the country. And so we go there and hang out. And we've met a lot of good people and made good friends.
So you're a newlywed, and we just have to talk about Angie for a second.
Sure.
What did Angie do in the past?
Well, Angie, what did she do in the past?
Not her career.
You mean her early career?
I don't know if it was a career, but I mean, she had
What?
the football team or something.
Okay, yeah, she was a professional. she was a professional cheerleader for the Houston Texans.
How about that?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Wow.
That's someone
that's-
always wants to marry the professional cheerleader. This
Well,
guy got one.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's funny you say that because how we met was at an actual resort where her and her cheerleader friends were hanging out.
Were they in
So-
cheerleader outfits?
Yeah, so I got a
Oh,
call.
Jesus Christ.
No, they weren't in outfit.
That'd be hard.
They were 10 years retired at that point, but we basically I got a phone call from a buddy said there's a bunch of cheerleaders at the pool. You need to come to this resort right away. And so that's kind of how it all started. But that's interesting you say that.
And then the thing also about Angie is she's your partner.
She is my business partner. She's a silent partner. She does have a full-time job with another venue in town that she's with Spin. It's
Cool.
Spin New York. It's the new ping pong club that used to be the old Antones.
Yep.
Always
It's a
packed.
fabulous venue. She does a great job there. She has at every venue she's been to. She's actually started 3. This will be her 3rd venue or 3rd concept to start from dirt. She started the range.
So she owns it.
Well, no, she's the director of sales and marketing.
Got it.
She's like the top head honcho.
She
Good plug.
well here locally, yeah. She's basically
Whoa.
She makes it run on the ground.
she's an event. She's dialed in with the Austin event planners and convention planners, and she's really strong with selling the big events and venues. And so she, like I said, she started the range at Austin as the director of membership and sales.
Oh.
And Grant Shaw's project down south, and
We know Grant.
she was there from the beginning, and she left there to go to Spin, and now she's been a silent partner. She's 100% committed to Spin, but this is something that she's doing on the side with
Cool.
me. for sure.
Gotcha.
So you've been in business, what,
Cool.
3 or 4 weeks, right?
So we've been in business 3 or 4. Yeah, this is our
3 or 4
4th week, but we did Blues on the Green all
Yeah.
summer.
Oh, okay.
Food truck.
This has been a process since September of last year when
Yeah.
me and Angie first flew to New York to see Jeremy and discuss the concept.
And how do you know Jeremy? Did we talk about that?
Yeah. Well, Jeremy is a dear friend from over 10, 12 years. We've just kind of run around together, buddies. And
How'd you meet?
we met through my childhood friend, Richard Durr, who lives in L.A., and he's in the fashion business. And he sells, various brands like J Brand and
Hey, we got a question for
Yes.
us. What's
Yeah.
So
Will, our
Carolyn
moderator.
said- hello guys.
Hey, Will.
Carolyn wants to know where you get your meats.
Where do you get your meat?
That's a good question.
Yeah, we get our meats through Schaller Weber out of New York.
Okay.
It's, Jeremy Schaller's company. Let's just call it a parent company for the concept, and we exclusively use their meats.
But so, do you think they're born
If you go to their
The
website,
livestock
Schaller
is
Weber website,
raised
you can
in
see
New
the
York,
meats and
or-
you can order.
because people want to know
yeah.
the origin of where are the animals?
Oh yeah, where can
Oh,
you can
gotcha.
actually buy the meats at Central Market? There's a whole freezer section of Schaller Weber products, charcuterie, sausages, the whole sauerkraut, bottled curry ketchup that you just had.
That is
It's so
so,
good.
Yeah.
okay, guys.
I'm gonna
I'm
put that on my
telling you,
eggs.
This curry hot dog is yeah.
So,
It's a real deal.
Look, man, I
do
would.
you know where the animals are though before they?
Well, as far as the butchering process, I'm going to
No,
leave
but-
that up to the
well,
plant and the butcher.
Yeah, you let the plant handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what does it
Follow-up
matter?
My
question
job's
is
to
if
get
you
it
want to
in
go
there.
hog hunting.
When do we not go hog
I know
hunting?
he hog
Wait,
hunts.
wait.
Yeah.
Knifing or hog hunting? There's a
Hog hunting.
difference.
What do you mean?
Knifing, like my dad invited me to go knifing one time. I
Yeah,
was
no,
like, what
with
the fuck
dogs
is that?
and a knife.
Yeah.
No, go
Have
out
you ever
with-
done that?
No.
I want to
We
do
With a
trap
that.
pig?
them and we
With a
take
hog?
care of them that way.
Yeah,
at
like-
our place.
Well, there's too many of them. So
We trap them and take care of them.
That's a
on our
real
place like
man's
that.
job right there.
We have plenty of hogs in Texas, and we can get rid
yeah,
of
they're
them.
overgrown. There's no license to hunt hogs, right?
I'm not sure the legalities.
I don't-
on
well, I
that.
don't think
There's
there
no
is.
season to
there's
hunt.
no season.
hogs.
I mean, they're
you
just-
might have to have a license to hunt.
Hunt. Okay, but
I've never hunted in my life.
there's not
So-
there's like a count on the hogs or anything.
No.
There's so many. They're
so
tearing up
scared.
farm ground.
Yeah, I mean, my father-in-law, almost fell out
So,
of
I
his
mean, even
tractor one day
Louisiana.
going over a wall, or the disc went over the wall, and he went up on 2 wheels and had to, he's an old man, but
Yeah.
we got a phone call, almost fucking. Sorry.
Right, I was
so
gonna
that's-
ask you. So I was gonna ask
But
you.
anyway.
So 3 to 4 weeks, right? So you're like a startup per se, but you
In
have like
Austin.
30 years of.
Well, plus 2 years in New York.
It's
with
really
the,
just
with the concept that.
So
we
what
have.
has changed? Like you coming from that world and then coming into Austin. Like there's a lot of like Austin's known as like the startup hub. Like there's a bunch of millennials here. Like hey man, like all the movement. What is like food? What do you
He's a
feel
millennial,
that?
by the way.
I'm straight millennial. But what do you think that food has like as far as like the difference of starting a business with food has done to your mentality and how you approach business now? Like being in business for, I'd say officially 3 to 4 weeks. Have you seen? Is there a difference from then and now? And like, what do you like and not like about it?
I'm sorry. As far as comparing to what I've done in the past.
Yeah, like is it natural for you?
Why
Are
don't
you
we
still
ask
learning?
first, what did
Well-
you do in the past?
Yeah,
So-
in the past I was in finance. I was in the investment
Yeah.
banking world and
There you
worked
go.
for all the big banks in New York here locally. And like I said, I've always been in a suit.
Yeah.
And this was a business deal to me that I believed in. So
Yeah.
I put it together and made it happen, and with a lot of people's help. But
So one thing that we're going through and talking about on the show is that we were doing kind of the corporate race and following that American dream, and
Sure.
it just we weren't happy. And about 6 months ago, like we went through our own experiences, and then 3 months ago we met each other and talked about it. So I mean, what you had shared with me is that you're like after the 30 years of doing the finance stuff, you're just ready to hang it up and do something that makes you excited and creative, right?
yeah, I think creative is the right word there. I mean, I think this allows me to tap into some creativity that I never got to use before, and so, hence a lot of the creativity is done in New York, thankfully. But just how to deliver the product to the Austin market, I think has been really fun for me.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
it's
That's
a
what I'm
totally,
looking
it's
for.
a totally
Fun.
different
Yeah.
energy, man. I used to be in
Yeah,
New York
yeah.
all the time, running through the Garment District and then
Sure.
partying up, 71st and
Sure.
First area and Lower West, whatever, doesn't
Sure.
matter. But the concept of taking something from New York, look, I'm in the same world too. I do old school handmade suiting.
Sure,
Right?
sure.
There's a couple tailors back when you were running
Yeah.
through here in Austin wearing
Yeah.
a suit. There's a few handmade tailors here, right?
I've got a lot of Tom
Carlos
James.
Oliva.
I've got a lot of Tom James.
yeah, but I'm
suits in
talking
the closet.
true bench
Like
made
Tom
tailors.
James.
There was
Yeah.
Gus Casani and
Yeah.
Carlos Oliva's father.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Those were the two
That's right.
handmade tailors.
Yeah.
Tom James has been around a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so
So one thing is that we talked about how the quality of this sausage is different from what a actual like hot dog at the store is. I mean, it's a major difference.
Yeah, well, again, it's a sausage versus a beef frank, and we do have
Yeah.
beef that Charlotte makes, but the majority is pork. And
Yeah, and so seems to be a trend with food, and Ross is well aware of it, that we care about the source of our ingredients and what are our ingredients of. It's not the just hot dog truck on the. It's food in general, food in our own house, food that we give to our children.
yeah, yeah, you want the move has obviously gone more natural, and fortunately, we're a all natural product.
And so, Ross, you got some ideas about slow food movement.
well, let's get back we skipped back to something I wanted to talk about. You get back to like boudin and you get back to like the old school hot dogs, right?
Sure.
Like that was literally lips and assholes put in a casing. In the
Yeah.
Yeah,
distance,
talking about
right?
quality.
It was like,
That's what we're talking about.
it was not, some places, I mean, sure, it's 85 years old, but hot dogs were there before 85 years ago.
Correct. Yeah.
And so, the nice thing to see is that a brand that has a passion has kept going. Sure, they had to change their methods a little bit, sell out charcuterie, not sell out, but sell top quality charcuterie, but decide to sell the highest quality meats they could find to only the top quality. They know they could drop their prices and go into mass market and go into the fucking HEBs and all that, but no, they're staying Central Market, Whole Foods.
Yeah.
Dwayne Reed's probably.
You're bringing
stuff
up a
like
good
that.
point. German sausage can be bland if it's done the traditional way, and I think the Schaller-Weber product is basically leaning towards the Italian side of sausage. They've got more flavor. They've got more.
Yeah.
The Italian sausage is definitely good sausage. So.
Yeah, and then you bring it back into Austin. You said you've been here 30 years. I've been here 16. You talk about food that's been in Austin. How long have you been here?
15 years.
Yeah, so think about 15 years ago. How long have you been here?
5.
Okay, so
About 10 years ago,
but
there was a.
but he was here at kind of the brink of the second wave of the big food movement. 10 years ago was the first wave.
Food
of the
trucks
food
just
movement.
started popping up.
Sure.
5
Yeah,
years
that
ago,
was
like,
well.
more.
No, they happened when Paul Key struck home and hit, Top Chef.
Paul Key is a
No,
chef.
Top Chef, Eastside King.
Yeah, for sure.
When
Oh,
he was
yeah.
on Food Truck Wars, I was on TV the same time. That's how we met. It was because we were both being filmed by the same film crew, and it was like so odd. But we were both talking about
What show were you on?
an NBC's show called Fashion Star. I mean, it was fun. It launched my career. Sure, it aired in 96 countries. I got F1. I got to do a lot of stuff with the Senate and Congress. Yeah, it was great. It's awesome. But I'm just saying, we're talking food right now, not
Yeah.
me.
Well, you said you're on a show. I just want to know
Sure,
what the show
yeah,
was.
but we're having conversation. But yeah, but the concept of slow food really started to happen, and let me put it this way: I used to eat a lot of meat, like a ton. I like 2 pounds of ribeye a week,
Sure.
and then I went on a 21-week juice fast,
Yeah.
and I
Gross.
used Daily Greens, which is from here in Austin,
Sure.
and 21 weeks, bro.
It's a
The
long
last
time.
like 4 or 5 weeks, I had like a handful of nuts and a handful of kale and spinach. Just
I
to
couldn't
start
do
building.
that shit, dude. I was vegan.
But let
for
me tell
fucking
you
2
what
years.
happened.
It was bullshit.
I was on after like 6 or 7
No
weeks.
disrespect
My
to
body
vegans.
was in such a crazy euphoric state because all the nutrients were just flowing through like liquid. You didn't have
Sure.
to process anything.
Sure.
It's easily absorbable.
But what's beautiful about it is now I can go back and appreciate finer meats now because I don't have to crave so much meat, eat so much meat every week. Now I only eat is venison and wild hog and
Quality
turkey
of
So
from
you,
the ranch.
you actually had a craving for red meat.
I
Whatever
used to
red
crave
meat it was,
like
you didn't
a
care. You just need to
motherfucker.
get
I
it in
used
your
to eat
body.
like a 1.5 pound
Do
ribeye
a
steak
do a hit
every
of
Friday.
red meat. Do a
I
hit.
mean, whatever. I ate red meat a lot, and we eat it every Sunday. You know, over at
Yeah.
parents' house, steak dinners, all that kind of jazz. Old Texas family, steak dinners on Sunday. You know what it is.
Yeah.
Barbecue
That's
sauce.
what you do. Throw it on the grill, baby.
But anyway, I like to know that you can get this at Central Market because now you can. I didn't know you could.
Yeah, you can buy the sausages, and we're gonna sell the sausages retail along with the curry ketchup and so forth out of our venues. But
Cool. Not trying to discredit from coming to the restaurant. It's just nice to know that you
Yeah,
can even have it
sure.
at home for a 2:00 meal on
you
a
just got to
on a
figure out how
Sunday.
to put it together.
That's right. It's
Hey, I'm not saying I
secrets
can.
in the
I'm not
sauce.
saying I can do that, but I can at least. Guys, the hot dogs are good.
Ross, why don't you tell us about Slow Food Movement? Because you're the one that taught me about it.
Real quick, Steve was wondering if you see that concept expanding, and then specifically your concept, and both in menu and locations.
Yeah, that's the plan. We basically
Great question.
Yeah,
That
this
is
is
a
a
good
good
question.
question. This is
Perfect.
the third venue for the company, and my wife and I own the whole state. So we're basically starting here in Austin. Of course, it's a natural place to start in Texas, and we're hoping to do many stores. Yeah, slowly and steady for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So 2 stores in New York, 1 store in Austin. What you told me is you're planning to do a few more in Austin before you start spreading around the states.
Yeah, we want to concentrate on Austin. This is our market. We know this market very well, and again, this is our hometown, new hometown, and I'm looking forward to building a good company here. And
Yes, so
You know,
speaking
can I
of-
ask you? I want to ask you just one quick question. Sorry to interrupt, but this is I really want to ask this question.
Sure.
And it goes back to what you said about 3 to 4 weeks as a startup.
Sure.
And about what you said about you and your wife and all of y'all's connections. And just to everybody listening about trying to start a business, to whatever the fuck it is, I don't care. But when you go out and launch a product, how valuable it is your network and the people that believe in you versus the actual product.
Well, thankfully, the product speaks for itself.
Sure.
So, yeah,
But
I think
if you don't have it, like you're like, I'm real connected here, I've been here 30 years. I mean, staying home in Austin to build this brand is more valuable to you than trying to hit Dallas or Houston right now. 'Cause
well,
right now.
I personally think this is one of the hottest markets in the state.
for
Really?
food.
Yeah,
For food.
for food and tourism. Let's talk about
Yeah.
tourism. I
yeah,
mean,
what happened with the library today?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
tell us.
What happened?
It is in the top
Oh, I
100
did see that.
places
Yeah,
to
yeah.
visit in the world.
Yeah.
Is the Austin
what-
Public Library by
The
Time
library,
Magazine.
not the city,
library.
just
Well,
the library.
Well, that's what 200 million will buy you.
200 million.
You know what?
Worldwide.
I love going there. The rooftop deck with the garden. I was
Hmm.
there today with like 5 hours doing some, computer
So this is
work.
the brand new Central Austin Public
Central
Library.
Austin
It is
Public-
not like a regular
Yeah,
library.
Dude, you can rent MacBooks.
You can drink beers there,
And
right?
you can do virtual
Well,
reality.
I don't know.
No,
I
I don't
don't
think
drink.
you
Well,
can beers there.
But
No, I think they sell them though. Like,
there
in the-
is a
in the
restaurant.
downstairs.
It's a
bar
restaurant.
downstairs,
Yeah.
Yeah, downstairs.
Yeah, but you don't think you can
Maybe
take
you
it
can
out.
But that's the point. It's the tourism. I mean, for those of us who've been around Austin for a long time, you've been
Yeah.
around long enough. Since the Codas arrived, since
Dude, I was there when it was running
the
dirt.
second wave of technology. It's
So
just
Circuit
called-
of the Americas is the F1
I
racetrack.
think
that came
that was the big turbo boost that the economy really received years ago.
about 8 years ago. An
Yeah.
international
2011.
race.
Yeah, 'cause
Only racetrack in America, and it had been years before there was an F.
Well,
It brought a lot of attention to Austin for people that normally wouldn't see Austin. Right?
Yes,
That's
internationally.
Yeah, for sure. And
I've
so
never been to a Coda race. in
That's
my
why
life.
all of our real
Oh,
estate
it's
friends
fun.
are making a
Yeah.
fortune.
The tickets are
The
great,
F-
but if
F1
you
is
really
good.
want to go, and everybody else, you
Not
really
for me.
want to go buy a lawn seat, sit on the grassy knoll, and watch the race. You can see the most turns, and there's a massive.
I'm just gonna be like this,
Jumbotron.
watching cars go
It's
around
the
the circle.
cheapest ticket,
Watch.
and it's also right by
That's
all
great.
the food and concessions.
That's great. Don't
Don't
look
get
at that
me
car.
wrong. I've had a suite on turn
Yeah, I guess
20
we
by
all-
myself. Big
We have our
private
own
suite.
tastes.
I've
Too
done,
busy.
I've
can't-
done it all at Coda.
I can't watch it,
all
dude.
of it
It's
for
terrible.
years.
It's
I ran the
terrible.
grid girls.
And
I mean,
the-
that was
the
my
lawn-
thing. All those girls in the white suits, that was mine every year.
It's too boring for me.
So we did it all.
Sometimes
I
it's
can't
not
do
about the
that.
car racing.
Yeah, it's
Well,
never
they've
about
taken the
car
grid
racing.
girls away, actually, from
Really?
all of F1. The new owners bought F1 and they removed it, and I think it's actually a smart move. Sex doesn't need to sell a sport.
Why?
Because it's not important.
Well,
It's
sex everything,
everything,
dude.
everybody
Look
else
at the
is
Instagram models.
Everything that's their choice to do what they want.
Speaking of Instagram models, so I know you worked with like a specific group. Like, what did they do for you? They just were like brand ambassadors for your event or
Which group was this?
I'm not too sure.
Oh, you're
but-
talking about the grand opening event.
Yeah, like what was that about? Where'd
Oh,
you
I
do
didn't
that?
know about this.
Yeah, they had like. So what did the girls do?
We had a soft opening, grand opening for friends and family.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
You know, and investors, and we
Oh, yeah,
basically.
you told me to come.
Yeah, I think I sent the invite. You were there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was at my grand opening the same night.
Okay, I got you. So anyway, we had about 200 people show up. Third
Nice.
Congress to a food truck,
Yeah.
and we had it roped off, special closed but it was out in the open.
Polka
So-
band.
Polka band.
What?
We had some old guys from Sun City, their leader hosting, and they were jamming on the accordion.
Yeah.
Our CEO Jeremy Schaller
Jamming in the accordion. I think
got
I've
up there
heard
to
that.
sing the German polka songs with them.
Polka,
It was
polka.
pretty.
So what was the crowd like? Was it a mix of like young
Yeah,
dudes?
it was a
old
mix
dudes?
of just friends,
And
and
women.
family, and investors, like I said. And it
Again,
was-
like you said, though,
yeah.
200 people
Nice.
on the roped off on the curb of Congress.
Third
Just
Congress.
right back to what I said about the question of how important is it to have a network.
Yeah, so to get to the answer to that question, I think the network's very important from putting deals together. Number one.
That's 200 people.
Because that was your
That's
network.
taking pictures
Yeah.
or having money in the
I mean,
business.
I hear what
not
you're
only
saying.
buying- listen. I talked to the guy Joshua from Helm Boots, and I'll never forget this story. And I'll plug him for a second because a lot
they're
of people
great
in this
boots.
community
Yeah.
knows him. But he owned Progress Coffee back on the east side when it was crack whores and
Sure.
cocaine all
He
over
was
the
early.
place. Seventh to Chalmers, you know what I'm
It was
saying?
on the
Like,
frontier for sure.
yeah, and Franklin had his
Scary.
pit in the back. Franklin had his pit in the backyard before it was Franklin. Yeah. Anyway, Josh, I said, Josh, how'd you get the business started? He said, I said, business partners that believed in me. I was selling. He brought out the boot. It was 16 and a half inches tall, and it was cream all the way down the middle with this like iridescent kind of brown nubuck, purple laces, and it was $675. And he had like a couple hundred pairs, and he sold every single pair that night. And I said, how? He said, my investors believed me and brought the right people.
That's right.
So
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think if you have a good product
Yep.
and you know how to market, you can come into Austin from anywhere and do a good job and make a great living. But I think it is a lot easier to do what we want to do here, with a good 30-year history and a good network to support us.
So, like-
we appreciate that. very
Yeah,
much.
that brings a good point. Like the market's the market's the market. Like people come up with all these flashy things, and it's like if your product fucking sucks, that's it. Like
Yeah.
your
Right.
product speaks for itself, man.
yeah,
And
it's
it
good.
was good. Dude. That was the first time I ever had that. It was amazing. And I am picky. I'm a picky eater. I really am, dudes.
Well, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
that was really good. So talking about fitness and stuff like that, I'm in the fitness world, right? And so I went down a vegan hole, right? It was the most terrible 2 years of my life.
That's not meat.
It's not meat, man. It's terrible. And so
Let's
I
talk
tried.
about
Well, we do have a
Plant-based
vegan.
protein.
Oh, wait.
We do have vegan options that are
Vegan's
as
not
close
bad.
to meat
For
as
me,
you can get.
for me,
You
for
do
me,
have
for
a
me.
vegan option.
Oh, yeah,
let's talk about. I'm talking about for vegan for 1 second.
We have 2 dogs. Not to interrupt, but we have 2 dogs that are vegan based on the menu.
Heck
They're
yeah.
from Beyond Meat, which, from what I hear from my vegan friends, the
Is
best
really
meats-
good.
It's the best meat substitute in the
Cool.
country, and it looks like meat, bleeds like meat,
Yes.
tastes like meat, but it's plant based.
It's awesome.
And so we're excited about the feedback on that, and
Cool.
we're in tie with Beyond, and we look forward to continuing that relationship.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The only reason I went down that path though is because like everybody in my group of friends was like, hey, there was this huge vegan boom. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like it was
For
everywhere.
sure. Yeah.
And so I kind of
I didn't listen to
that bad guy.
podcasts then.
It's still here
so
now.
I was
didn't-
all on podcasts, and it was
Okay.
a big movement, but it didn't fulfill me. I remember I was like trying to lift weights, and I was like really frail, but I was doing it the wrong way. There's a way to do it. It's just more
What-
complicated.
Tell us about how you were doing it. What were you eating?
Oh, I was just eating nothing but like raw plants, juice, soy, that no fats whatsoever. I mean, my skin, I was like, is your color, dude. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, look at me, dude. I'm like, my natural tan was gone. I was like frail, shaking all
Probably
the time.
vitamin D deficient.
Vitamin D, vitamin B12 deficient, all these deficiencies. And then so,
Well,
what really jump-started my fitness is just starting eating meat again. And like I went from 155, now I'm at 185.
Gotta have
Doesn't
your
matter.
protein.
Oh, dude.
Gotta have your protein.
Yeah, but I don't want to weigh 185 pounds. I want to weigh 155 pounds.
Yeah,
Am I
but
weird?
no.
Well,
No,
it is
no.
a help. I will say, and it's contradictory to what we're selling. But
Yeah.
I will say that meat in moderation.
Eat
How about
responsibly.
anything in moderation?
Yeah,
is good.
it's just, it's
If
the
you
same
can't,
bullshit,
if you
dude.
abuse
Yeah.
anything, it's going
Sure.
to cause. If you flip
Yeah.
the scales anyway, even
Yeah.
drinking alcohol.
Sure.
don't drink
I
anymore.
overdo
I've
this shit.
used it.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
I overdo
Yeah.
coffee, okay? So that's one thing. I drink a bullet coffee every day. I overdo it.
How many bullet coffees have you had today? Bullet
Two.
coffee.
two bullet coffees, but I'm telling you, my blood work has been coming back
Plugs it every
great.
day on his Instagram story. Bullet coffee.
I'm sorry, I missed the tie-in there. You're part of Bullet?
No,
No,
it's
that's
not.
what I wish.
And we're not getting paid to
Not
promote any of this
affiliated.
stuff. This is just stuff that we love.
Not affiliated.
Matt is a friend of mine, and these sausages are fantastic.
Third and Congress, check it
Good
out.
stuff.
Yeah.
Let's get back to fitness because
yeah.
this is interesting and plant-based foods and plant-based medicine and why you were on what diet are you on? The keto?
I do a loose keto diet. So
What
I
the
just-
fuck is a loose keto?
I don't know what that means.
Kinda do this.
I don't know what that
eat-
means. I'm gonna
I eat-
loose everything then.
I eat.
Loose keto. Are you on a loose keto?
Mosquito, he's the new guy that moved
Where
down.
you going?
Get another beer.
All right, dude.
Right here.
So,
Who gets
Here's
another
a beer
beer
right
in the
here,
middle?
buddy.
Here, there you go.
Yeah.
You got one right there, bro.
I want an ice cold one.
By the way, that
Yeah,
beer
here, I'll put that
tastes
back.
Okay,
like
so-
a Guinness with lemon in it.
Lemon, yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Good
bad.
stuff.
Pills?
So
not
I
bad.
do.
Yeah.
Grass
So
beer.
I'm
You're
from,
pretty big, dude.
I'm from South Louisiana.
Yeah.
Town of 400.
Yeah.
You say like that, like gat, like gat.
Man, I'm from Louisiana. Yeah, that's where I'm from. Down the bayou.
Oh shit, that's how they sound.
Yeah.
Plant-based keto fitness.
So yeah, so I have personally the reason I focus on eating a keto diet is that I have a lot of diabetes, heart disease. My grandfather had a stroke, and I only knew him as slurred speech, and I just knew that I did not want to go down that path. And unfortunately, my oldest brother, he's in the country. He's a country boy, and
Yeah.
by the time he hit 40, he had diabetes and all that stuff too. And I just saw that. I'm like, you know what, I eating carbs like while I'm on shift, a emergency physician, I mean, I would have these crashes of energy, and I finally connected it to the food that I was eating. Yeah. And so I changed up everything. I went to lean proteins, cut out grains. I try to limit my sugar to 5 grams a day, but 20 is okay. And then the carbs, I don't know. I'm not good at carb counting, but I just stay away from them. Things that I do eat, that's why I say loose keto,
Yeah.
is that I eat berries.
Cool.
Which has a pretty low sugar index. I do blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries.
So keto has no sugar at all.
Keto
Very limited
is
sugar.
pretty much no sugar, or low, extremely low sugar, extremely low carb.
I was keto.
And it
what-
pushes your body into this state of
Do
ketosis that ends up burning fat.
you want to know the best
So do
fucking
you not
diet?
eat any plants?
Vegetables, sorry,
So
vegetables.
don't vegetables, green leaves have carbohydrates?
But it's a complex carbohydrate.
So you're talking about, let's go back to carbohydrates
about
you don't eat.
The ones that I don't eat?
Yes.
Pastas.
Right, so in grain carbohydrates is what you're talking about. Flours, wheat, processed grains. But
highly-
vegetable carbohydrates you do ingest.
I do, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
let's
that's-
just clarify
Exactly.
Summer moon.
that's important because those carbohydrates, like in a juice fast plant-based diet, are exactly what you need, the body needs, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and then just one other thing, whenever I actually switched over to keto about 3 years ago, and I was encouraged by a friend of mine, Jess Martin, to do that. Within 3 months, I mean, my waist went from like 35 inches to 32, and I never thought my life was going to reach 32 inches again. I've been able to maintain that for 2-3 years now.
Sweet.
And I haven't been able to get to the gym lately because of work is just busy right now, and so I just stick with my diet, and like I'm getting not as big, but I'm not getting a gut. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
I'm happy about my gut.
Hey, I feel
But
better
the gut
with what I
the
eat.
gut
And
comes from
the
carbs.
bonus
Check it out,
is that
man, like-
I stay thin.
Ask
So
my
it's
wife.
just a
Ask
bonus.
my wife. She knows I hate eating bread and sugars and all that stuff because if I eat too much bread or sugars or chips at night, like late night eating kind of shit,
Or
which drives me
McDonald's.
crazy, I start to get like a gut or kind of like a gloat or like a whatever this stupid thing's called, a little
Bloating is
There's
that
all these
bloating.
fads that are going on about gluten and all these
Fuck
other
gluten.
things.
It's just the fact that I
well,
think
the-
carbohydrates do slow the process down
So
of
the-
digestion,
Carbohydrates
which
give you
causes
energy.
an
Gluten
inflammation.
is an interesting topic. So I have a friend that's a gluten intolerant, and I was like, whatever. But he told me experience, and that there's this documentary about how grains back in the day, 100, 200,000 years ago, they were fermented and broken down, and the cooking process was different. And now it's just as like, grow the food, process it, get it into
and filled with weed
chemicals
killer,
and
all
yeah.
that stuff.
And so that's where his thing. That's where he thinks the gluten intolerant. And there's studies that there's gluten intolerance because the grains are not broken down and as pure as they were when we first started using grains, and our bodies just can't.
There's so much shit out
handle
there,
that.
dude. There's so much shit out there. It's like, what the fuck do I follow?
Yeah, for sure. You got to follow what you,
You know what I'm
believe in
saying?
and what makes you feel good.
You know, the best thing I've done is I just eat organic shit, and every now and then I'll have a great hot dog quality. It's all in moderation,
Bro,
but-
I eat McDonald's every fucking week, and I'm not even gonna lie about it. I eat it at least
That's
once
you-
a week.
you
I've
are
had
a
it for-
ball of
I've-
energy,
I have had
and you have
McDonald's
perfect
for
genetics.
30 years since I was three
Does
or
have
4
perfect
years
genetics.
old. I remember me,
But
the same Reginald, same black dude that was always to the drive-thru by my house, and I know the same Mexican lady that's by my house now. She always shows me her new nails. We are close.
Jesus
Nails are
Christ.
important. But
Yeah,
a
they
few
are.
years ago, you were overweight, right?
You told me I was fat. I mean,
I didn't say fat.
Aw.
I mean, so
you
this is
heard
why I
about
went
that?
on the juice diet. So
Okay,
I literally hit 201 pounds, and I had a fucking panic attack. So I was like, oh my god.
My
Fuck,
213's feeling pretty heavy right now.
Jesus Christ.
I'm
And
a
I
solid
was
200
never like
right now.
more than like 170, and all of a sudden I was buying like extra large hunting equipment and 38 waist, and I'm like, what the
38?
fuck is going on?
38?
Yeah, bro, Wrangler
Wow.
38. I was like,
Wrangler?
whoa!
I think Cowboy doesn't give a shit about waist
And
size.
all of a sudden, well, you
How do you,
know,
how do you find the 30? You go to Cabela's and you wear the big britches? I mean, how does that work?
The zip tie ones.
But no, you look great, man. Good for you.
So
Yeah,
how
it's a
did
long way
you?
down.
That was when you did the.
so
juice
I went
stuff.
back to what my body's. I mean, listen, I'm a tailor. I make clothes. I know what my frame size is. Like, so I know where I need to be, and I know based off of like I mean, I've been doing this for a while. So anyway, I knew where I needed to get back to. So I was like, all right, what's bothering me? I'm 6.5 years sober from alcohol, but at the time I was 5.5, and I was like, all right, I'm drinking a lot of soda. I'm drinking 2 liters of Big Red a
Sure,
day.
Yeah.
Like, alcoholics, when they're trying to, when they'll eat a lot of sugar because there's a lot of sugar in alcohol. Like,
Or the weed
So-
alcoholics.
So what happened was is that I got rid of sugar, stopped eating a bunch of red meat, ate a lot more plant-based, and then went just straight juice for 21 weeks.
So you cut out the sugar too.
Completely.
And
gone.
Sugar's
I
a
mean,
cause
sugar's
of
the
everything,
killer.
dude.
The
Yeah.
Sugar is starting to be considered a toxin.
It is
a
a
toxin,
Well,
yeah.
let's talk.
There's-
What from a medical standpoint is sugar bad? How bad is sugar for you?
Well,
Let's go naturopathic and then let's go Western. Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah.
are you going to do the naturopathic?
Fuck no. I'm
Are you
not a
asking me?
doctor. I'm not a doctor.
I only play one.
All
on
I'm gonna
TV.
say is that look,
So
sugar, man, it's just bad. Like you
It's an
gotta
obvious
just
problem.
it's
sugar. So sugar in fruit. That's like when we were cavemen and we grab fruit and eat it. There was an instant boost
sugar.
of sugar.
Yeah. Taste some of that.
Instant sugar release.
Mama Bear made all that.
Speaking of sugar, Ross has made some.
No, I did not make. I only
Oh.
made the fig preserves.
Okay, you.
My wife made.
Okay,
these are from-
y'all, it's your house.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give my wife credit on
Okay.
this one. I mean, that took 9 hours to jar this stuff. This doesn't
Yes.
take time, and it's also taking prickly pears off a cactus, then having to sit there and burn them, then having to sit there and boil
This
them.
is prickly pear or real
No,
pear?
this is
That's
now
really
caramel
nice.
spice
Look at
pear.
that color.
That's
Yeah.
prickly
Looks good.
pear. That's from Pear Salt.
it probably tastes good too.
Well, yeah, we had some at the house.
Apparently,
It was-
this
My-
is
That
this
is
is
gold.
gold.
So
It
that
is
is
gold. Literally.
caramel, apple,
Literally
pears.
gold.
Taste that.
I can't wait any longer.
Yeah, but sugar,
So,
man. Like
yeah.
it's the root of every.
So
lot of
sugar
shit.
wasn't available to our ancestors in large quantities.
Get yourself
They would get fruit. They would get a burst of energy. They can go
It's like
kill animals.
But it's pear butter.
It's Texas pears.
Does it
So
taste like
good.
From
does it
Batesville.
taste like gold?
That's good stuff,
Close.
right? You,
That
can
ain't
just-
gonna last long.
you think that would taste good on a Schwaller stube?
That it will. Yeah, we might.
This
might,
would actually be good on.
Yeah, we
Taste
have
that.
the beauty about New York is they're allowing us to have. We have a great chef, Brian. I'm gonna throw a shout out to Brian.
Go
Fiedler.
for it, man.
Brian
That's what you're here
Fiedler is
for.
from 20 years at Magnolia. We just took him. He's a loyal, solid guy, and he knows the Austin market well.
That's it. You have to
So
kind of prick
we
that.
have the ability to create Texas flair type stuff with our menu, which is great. We're good at the Chili Willy. It's
Yeah.
the chili cheese brat in New York, but it's the
Ooh,
Chili
shit,
Willy
that
here.
sounds good, dude.
But this stuff
Let's go to your place after this because
on a dog.
Let's eat.
So this is
Yeah.
from, so
We have
these
to work it
figs are
out.
from Batesville at my buddy place, Travis and Paige Burger at Burger Cattle Company out in Batesville.
Okay.
And then the pears are from his trees there too, man. But this, yeah,
Just leave it open. Oh,
So
I
this
think-
is
that's the fig preserves with
Yeah, we'll
Just
make
leave it
sure it's
open.
got the
Meyer
right lid
lemons
on it.
and
Okay.
Texas fig
So
preserves.
did y'all hear what the fuck happened to Steve Jobs though? Like he was on a fruit diet. He was on an all-fruit diet.
yeah,
Cancer's
that guy
cancer.
didn't really.
And then he died from. Well, that's when
That's
people.
smart.
That's before people even
I
knew
eat that
what
on
was
toast
going on.
every day.
They were like talking about like nobody knew about fruit and like sugar and
That's
all that
so
shit.
I eat that on toast every day.
Wow, you've got jars and jars of that at the house.
I got tunas after
We
tunas.
should jar it, put a label on it, sell it out of the stew, for God's sake.
Okay,
Did we
done.
just create something?
We might have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to kind of bring some by and maybe let you try it on some dogs. Let's try it on some dogs.
Yeah, we could work that out for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wifey, you hear that? We got some canning to do.
So
No, this is all her though, so I have to give her the credit. I mean,
Good job.
It's
Good
the
job.
love. And it's just like you go back to the thing about the passion, the authenticity.
Yeah,
she
I mean,
sits there, she does it.
I had a family farm in Abilene. We grew up, and my
What kind of
grandmother
farm?
used to do this stuff. It was just a farm. They grew everything, wheat mostly, but
Stuff you don't eat.
So I grew.
No.
Yeah. The shit. Well, my father.
corn and black-eyed peas
Yeah.
and good Texas stuff like
Yeah,
that.
we did
for sure.
potatoes.
No, I
Okay,
come from
we
a
did
long
potatoes.
line of rice farmers in South Louisiana. I mean, I think I was supposed to be fourth generation, and I was like, this is too much hard work. I got to figure out something else to do.
So now you're running around Texas doing emergency medical, fixing gunshots and crazy nice stuff, saving lives.
That's right. Yeah. No,
That's hard work too. 96-hour shifts.
It's usually in the AC though, but
Doctor, I'm having a heart palpitation. I drink so much goddamn coffee.
you're so yeah. So rice, I actually don't really eat rice much now because it's a processed carb. But don't tell my
Yeah,
dad.
I like that gold up for
These
sure.
are for you to go home with.
Yeah, thanks.
Well,
yeah, for sure.
what do we say we are?
Well, I still wanted to know about the slow food movement.
So what's really fascinating about all the restaurants, and you can probably speak more to this than myself because you're in the restaurant business than me, but being here 16 years, you start watching the East Side Cafe. Is that what it was called?
Eastside Cafe on Manor Road.
Yeah, that was over.
Yeah.
It's no longer there. They started kind of. You had a garden in the backyard. You can like go and like pull stuff and like
Yeah.
you know. And then they started moving Springdale Farms. They started opening up farms on the east side.
What is slow food?
Slow food is the concept of you eat what is
You
of
take a
that
piss, I'll be back.
that climate time, right? So like in the springtime, it's a lot of tomatoes and peppers and fruitful type of stuff, and then but it also depends on what garden you come from. Like if Batesville's a winter garden, Pearsall's peanuts and tomatoes. Up this way is tomatoes. It all depends.
So it kind of ties into that farm to table concept.
It's 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ties
Just-
into that
And now that
concept
we're
of
now
just
that there is
relaxing and eating slow and enjoying time and like
Well,
eating
and-
from the land and what
Yeah.
takes. It's not grown fast.
right. It's not the
harvest of
GMOs, the thing that the President Obama was so against, genetically modified or organic material, whatever.
It's horrible.
That's why you see
Yeah.
the huge cornfields in Amarillo that weren't there when I grew up. Now it's just
Massive.
everywhere. Yeah, because
yeah,
of
the
that
soil.
chemical.
Genetic.
Yeah, we don't have the soil for that.
Right.
Yeah. So
Soil
it's
for that's not there.
yeah. So that Netflix show, The Chef. I mean, they do a lot of that where
Great
they
show.
yeah, I love that show. It's like food porn, but
It's a great show.
they plant the food around the restaurant and they grow it and raise it, and it's not these typical like lettuces you'll find in a grocery store. It's like different types of lettuces. Like what's that really French Laundry out in Napa? I didn't get to eat there, but I went and walked around and got to and I went in their garden. It's open to the public, and there was shit in there growing. I just didn't know what it was.
If you ever
I
go back,
couldn't identify it.
if you ever go back to California, since you love beer so much, go to Stone Brewery
Okay.
because they have a massive ranch and garden. So they
Oh.
harvest all their animals on the place. They grow all their vegetables and they brew their beer there. So back when I was drinking, I went with my buddies on a brewery tour of California. And that's the only one that I remember really in my
Because of
mind because of that.
Yeah.
it was such a cool experience.
What's it called?
Stone.
Okay.
It's huge.
Stoned?
Yes. No. S-T-O-N-E.
Stoned.
They have
Stoned?
like IPAs. They have
Lights
all
are
these
bright
other
as
ones.
shit.
Speaking of stoned,
No, I'm not stoned.
All right, so
so slow food. It's more of a thing now.
It's a big thing in Austin, particularly. I
what do
think.
you think about it?
Yeah, I just think that it's started with Whole Foods, right? I mean, Whole Foods started
Good
years
point.
ago. I mean, I still remember hanging out in a Whole Foods just to get a decent smoothie years ago, and my friends and I would make fun of all the
Down the old
hippies.
Cheapo, where
Maybe.
the old Cheapo
Yeah.
was, and then the
Yeah, that's goodwill. But we would make
Yeah,
fun
the
of
flood.
the hippies, right?
First flood.
These guys are crazy paying twice the price for a box of cereal or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's just I think that was the birth of the movement here in Austin. at least.
The whole paycheck concept, quote unquote, the whole paycheck. Let's go to do the whole paycheck. Was a quote for a while.
Yeah.
That people were trying to
but
really
now
paycheck,
Amazon
yeah.
But
bought
the
Whole
thing
Foods.
is, it's funny about that because prices have dropped a little bit, but I wasn't going there. I was going that with this slow movement and with the way people are understanding food, I feel like people are just starting to say, okay, I'm going to eat better. Forget it. Even the podcast in the just the moving of hate and fear to love and exception, right? There's like, all right, I'm choosing to go here. I'm starting to accept this. I'm going to pay more to enhance myself, but it also going to make me work harder to afford more, right? So the concept of
Are you just
whole paycheck is starting to dissipate.
Well, and paychecks, we're in America and it's very materialistic based, and a lot of paycheck we're going towards the new TVs and the new and I think there's just like that's not as important now. It's like this is the thing that you worry about most, not your house, not your car, not your which even with what you doing for clothing is that you want people to express who they are by their clothes before they even say a word.
Right.
So I think that we brought it back to ourselves instead of what we're showing other people.
But what if you can't fit the clothes?
They're custom made.
Well, then maybe you're not yourself.
No. Gotta fit the clothes.
Then you got to cut some sugar and your carbs out of your diet.
Yeah.
No.
So health is important. It's funny
It
with
is.
this whole meat thing. There's other topics in meat.
All I know is that this is freaking amazing, and I can't wait to get some more. And I'm gonna send everybody over there. My dad would be over here in a heartbeat, dude.
Man, I appreciate
Some good
that.
shit.
Yeah.
It really is.
So what's the average price on these dogs?
Man, our average
It's just a
check.
good.
Cut the last.
I think it's got good.
Keep going.
Our average check is about $11 an order.
Cool.
I mean, you throw some fries on top of a $7 dog, you're looking at $11.
What kind of fries? Just regular straight old fries? Or you
Man, we've got the source of the McDonald's and Whataburger fries that we're trying out right now. We're actually going through a bunch of samples to figure out the right fry, but I think that's really what we're looking for is
Let's go Whataburger.
nice, thin, crispy fry that we all love. Right?
Yeah, dude, that's my favorite fry. All right, well,
How about what we got? What do you got?
no, I was just gonna say, I think we got a lot of information here to run with.
Do you have any
No,
kids?
but
I do have
So
one
let's-
child. He's 12, and he's Luke, niece, and he worked the window at the container yesterday. At the
That's
Ed
awesome,
Congress.
dude.
Yeah, for the first time. He's probably getting to bed now, but
surprised you didn't
That's
get
so
a ticket.
cool, man. My first job was at 13.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's
Didn't have to have it in my lifestyle, but my
wasn't
parents
really-
wanted me to get one.
Yeah. Working for your dad in the window with your dad is not really a job, but
No.
we'll get in
Is
there.
it a job to you right now? You know what you're
No,
doing?
we love it. And he
Right.
loved it. And, it was real exciting for him.
The
to
old
see that.
saying is, and maybe it's a new saying: if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Let's cut the fucking
You're working
bullshit.
hard right now.
Let's cut the bullshit. Let's get real for a second on business,
okay.
life, entrepreneurship
Okay.
with wives. Because
Entrepreneurs.
hold on.
Let's go there.
You and I had this conversation because
Yeah.
I praised my wife. Whatever, we're gonna talk about this, but I'm also gonna say and it's a lot of communication issues. I don't know how your communications are with your business partner / wife.
Oh, Angie, ours is great, right, huh?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I've seen it
Angie,
firsthand.
Aaron,
Yeah.
my communication. Ryan, you were like, I tell my wife to do, and I'm like, yeah, so do I. So how do you deal? Because I get into these, and Rob has a child too with a woman who is such an empowering female entrepreneur, and he's running his world, and they're trying to handle kids and talking business stuff, and how do you balance your work partnership and then your home partnership? And I don't care how you don't get into the backdoor dirty stuff. I'm talking about just how do you stop from getting mad?
Whoa. Okay. Well, we've obviously had our moments, but it's out of love and passion. It's not. It's productive mad. Yeah. So she's half Latino, so that's natural.
My brother married a Colombian woman.
But Angie,
She's passionate.
Angie's very organized, and she's very professional about things. I can tend to be the more salesman part of the equation, and just get a little bit more out of bounds, if you will, occasionally. And she brings me back in, and she just tells me how it is. I think is how it works.
I could see her
Good
doing
way to
that.
say it. She tells me how it is too.
And what's your response? Yes, dear. I've learned how to say yes, dear in the past 6 months. Like, it just fixes everything.
You brought it up, but I'm going to tell you the best marriage advice I've ever received from an elderly man. He's probably in his 70s, and he had a young wife.
I hear the same story all the time. Let me tell you, from a 7-year-old man.
And I met him at the airport with my wife, and he looks at me and goes, "How long have you been with your wife?" And I go, "Well, we've been together 6 years, married a year now." And he goes, "Let me just tell you something. The best advice I can give you is everything she says to you, say yes, dear." And you'll have it made. So,
After 9 years, I finally figured it out.
learned that.
So
hard
I
way.
jumped past some stuff, but I want to bring it back because I know this is
Sure.
an important part of the topic to Rob about really getting into this plant-based, meat-based fitness kind of world. So can we jump back there for just a second?
Absolutely. No.
And you know, like I think the fitness stuff is important, and I think, you know, in your Climb Series stuff, you're always in the gym, and
Every single day.
you've even told us about
So there's two things to take care of your health. It's the food that you put into it, and
Right.
it's the activity that you do, the
Sure,
exercise.
sure.
So we talked about the food. So we're going to talk about.
yeah, and so like why when you know, we'll even see you on a Marco Polo chat sometimes, like eating those, you know, pumpkin seeds, like just getting back from the gym, or you'll be in the gym doing it, and like sometimes you'll say, "Man, I didn't go to the gym. I feel bad." Like, what does working out and fitness do for you? I'm gonna say outside
as
of
food?
looking good, I'm saying by having a healthy diet. Like when you were plant-based working out, let's go back to what you were talking about, little weakness stuff, and then you started putting in your meat back in, and you started to feel that more energy.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
Are you still on a higher meat protein still?
I'm like 70-30, 70 plants, 30 meats. What I changed, what gave me the most energy and brought me back to life was the fact that I started eating normally. Carbohydrates, there's big misconceptions about carbohydrates. They're good. It's
I
not,
eat a lot of them,
It
too.
depends on what you eat, right? You got
Right.
basmati white rice, organic, and then you got like hamburgers with
Which
processed shit.
it goes back to what I said. You got to figure out
You
what
don't eat
works
McDonald's?
Fuck no, I haven't eaten McDonald's in 15 years.
So if I brought you some McDonald's
wouldn't eat
fries and chicken nugget, what
The
about,
French fries,
what
at
about
least?
a $100 bill?
for you. Those French fries are natural potatoes.
You wouldn't eat a 20-pack of nuggets and French fries with a $100 bill at the bottom?
No. That's how bad I
I'm gonna
eat that
do
shit.
it. I'm gonna break
I'll
it
put
next
down
week.
2 of them.
200.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, 2 boxes. So you
So in
get
pledge it. Well,
couple
we don't
bills?
haze, but in fraternity, we
Couple
we
bills
watched-
for Will.
We,
It was look. It's important. Like there's a big movement in Austin.
The 50
right?
pack.
You're
was
buying,
awesome.
man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna eat.
Yeah.
But no, this is like a company like this. Like it's just like it's so good. Like it's like whenever you're like I'm all about fitness, right? But when I got good quality food like this, I'm like, hey, where am I gonna go to get good quality food?
But tell us about your fitness routine. It's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. I wait 18 hours to eat. You know?
Oh yeah, there's that too. I
easy.
forgot.
I wait 18 hours to eat. Yeah, wait 18 hours to eat.
And that's called
Well, that
intermittent
includes
fasting.
8 hours of sleep, right?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
so then
Yeah.
you don't eat for like ever.
I don't. My last meal's at 7. My next meal is at 1 o'clock the next day.
It's
Gives my body time to metabolize, right?
It's
So I
usually
can eat
11. Don't they say 11 should be your first?
I get.
It's whenever
for
you
you,
break.
it's
It's
1 o'clock.
whenever you break your fast,
Yeah.
right? Breakfast is a big misconception. You don't need to eat it in the morning.
Sure.
So
Different opinion, but here.
yeah.
But
It's-
It
I
depends
get.
on when you eat
my
your
blood-
last
okay.
meal and what you eat last.
I got blood tests, and they are phenomenal. It's like I eat so much cholesterol-ridden food, quote unquote. My cholesterol is extremely high,
Yeah.
but
Which
it's
Yeah, what about
Eating
cholesterol? 'Cause,
cholesterol
like,
doesn't
does
make
it
your
affect
cholesterol go up.
diabetes?
diabetes affects cholesterol more so.
Okay, so if you have high cholesterol, is that a sign of diabetes?
No, it's not.
Should we be worried about this man?
No, not at
Okay.
all. I mean, he's
right,
he's
good.
one of the fittest guys I know.
I'm
He's
just saying,
uh,
like I'm high cholesterol. I'm like,
That's a
Yeah.
big,
No, so I
that's a
mean,
big
our-
hereditary thing, right?
So if you
No, I
take in
mean-
the sugar with the fats and the cholesterol, then your body will store it and then make the atherosclerosis. But if you're just eating cholesterol or fatty foods without all the sugar and stuff, your body actually breaks down and processes that fat for fuel.
and imagine having 18 hours of your body. To
It doesn't
do that.
store it.
So my body uses fat as fuel.
right.
So
Me too.
the one
I don't have to eat for 2 days, I'll
age-old
be fine.
misconception is if you eat fat, the fat goes onto your belly and becomes fat.
Wrong.
It does not do that.
Sugar does that.
Sugar does that.
Sugar.
100%, dude. So I got like 13% body fat, but it's because I'm eating a lot right now. But if I really cut, I'm like at 8% body fat normally. So yeah, man. I mean, the
But
biggest thing is
how
like
often do you go to the gym?
every single day,
7 days a week.
even if I'm sick.
No rest day.
No,
7 days a week.
fuck no.
How old
Why?
are you?
I don't.
30,
Yeah.
31.
Oh, there you go.
I don't.
I was doing the same ain't taking 31.
But I got my old man who's 67 does the same thing.
Yeah, I
He's been
got
doing
in
it
his
for like
blood.
22,
What's in your
22
blood?
years.
How often do you go?
He has got such a
Every day.
strategic,
I mean, I'm sorry, how long do you
structured
stay?
mindset. It's unbelievable.
How long do I
It's
stay?
so hard
An
to
hour.
break him.
How long do you stay when you go to the gym?
An hour.
Okay, so
Yeah.
consistent 7 days a week, hour.
7 days a week,
It's
an
great.
hour. I don't give a shit if I'm sick. Or I'll go to the sauna. I'll do something. I'll do like a little push-up. It's just a mind thing.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
you know,
but
accountability
the payoff
to yourself.
is
The payoff is I can go and eat whatever I want. If I want to go
Oh,
to
really?
McDonald's.
That's the
and
payoff?
Yeah, if I
Okay.
wanted to, I can have fun
Once
and
or
have a
twice
good
a week.
weekend.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's the movement. You gotta consistently be like fucking disciplined so that you can go and
So-
have fun on the weekends every now and then.
So my
I know
experience
a lot of people do that.
with
A lot of people
fitness
have
and
the same mindset.
and diet is that I would do the 90 days in the gym, eat really well, gym really hard, get a semi six pack going back when I was young in my 20s. It was easier to do. And then I'm like, oh, I did it. And then I'd stop.
Yeah.
And then what happens when you stop? You get soft and bloated
Yeah.
again. So, I actually broke my arm 3 years ago. The humerus got popped right in half. And I got so atrophied and weak. And I really didn't. In that moment, I realized, okay, you know what? If I can get my health back, which is the health of my bone and my arm, I'm going to commit to fitness.
Yeah.
And I did. And I felt much better than I ever felt before. And that's really what is my motivation to go to the gym. It's not what I look like or see. It's how I feel.
Lowers your blood pressure.
Lowers your blood pressure. Ups
Releases
my
endorphins.
releases endorphins.
Dopamine,
Ups
all that
my.
kind of stuff.
I have 5 kids. So
Oh, you're
it's-
good at that part.
Just
Yeah, that thing's working. But I'm talking about.
Obviously, he's got 5 kids.
I'm talking about just keeping up with the
Everything's
kids.
working.
Energetic. I mean,
Yeah.
kids obviously have more energy than adults, and I had to up my energy levels just to keep up with them. And so
Yeah.
my way to do it was keto and gym.
So cardio. So Dr. Stephen Gundry is a cardiologist. He talks about like doing cardio, running miles every day is stupid.
Kind of.
He was no, it is. He was the fattest of his life. He was around healthiest when he would run 2 to 3 miles every single day.
Yeah.
And he was a
I-
world-renowned cardiologist.
I was actually a runner, and I stopped once I figured out.
Me too. I was skinny fat.
And I got better. I achieved.
So look
I mean,
it up.
I'm not against having a good shape, but when I
don't do any
switched
cardio.
from running to
See, I
gym,
cycle a lot.
I got trimmer and tighter and toner.
It's over.
That whole thing about running and trimming up. It's
good in moderation.
Fat. I mean, it doesn't really.
Not every day.
So let's
Ross,
bring
what do
this
you do
to
for
kinda-
fitness though?
I cycle a ton. I do a lot. So Honor Academy's here in town. I'm not trying to plug them, but I'll say what's up to the boys over at the Honor Academy. What I learned from them in my early trainings with them was that when I was getting back into flexibility and movement and all that stuff,
Which flexibility is a big push
I think
these
is way
days.
more important than how much weight you can lift.
Yes.
It's like if you can move your own body and you can bend your body. Men should be able to do splits. Not saying I can do it, but I can go pretty far.
We should.
But
be
our
flexible.
joints are just as flexible as everybody else's, and
Yeah.
these people on it teach you how to bend
Van
and
Damme.
move and stretch and tighten
Jean-Claude.
certain muscles that actually build muscle and circulation, which allow you to keep growing things.
Yeah.
AKA yoga.
And
Yeah, yoga's
There you go.
huge.
all you gotta do.
Any of that stuff.
one staying mobile.
You can do
and
yoga at
flexible.
home through a YouTube channel if you want at
Yeah.
any time of the
Yeah.
day. Like that's the beauty of it. You can
Yeah,
go
that's
sit in your
just-
backyard. You go to practice yoga on the east side, whatever. Like you do whatever you want. Black Swan, it's part of Onnit's group. I mean, but what I've kind of come to conclusion on the day, what I've kind of seen as a really great theme of this afternoon or evening talks
Well, we
is
didn't ask Matt about his fitness if he didn't.
I
Well,
figured it
no,
out.
let him finish. It's dwindled over time.
That's okay.
So go ahead.
He likes his back
If it
porch
works-
sunsets
if it
with a
works
cold
for you.
beer.
If it-
Back porch sunsets with a cold
You're-
beer.
well, you're-
and
you're-
No,
just-
I'm these days. I'm 50 years old, and as you're when you're at 31, you're in the gym every day. I was there. I lifted weights for years, and I basically lost a shoulder probably 6 years ago.
Jeez.
So I just had to run, and
Do you get stem cell?
no,
Stem cell
it
therapy?
was just some less cartilage after being worn out.
Yeah, they have stem cell therapy now where they can inject it and it regrows the cartilage.
I know a guy
Should
for
know.
that.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, it's just maintained,
Called Bronco.
like you say, just to feel good these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I eat what I want, drink what I want.
There's an upside to that.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think what we've kind of figured out today, which is nice, this is I think a great podcast that we've had, is that a lot of success in business comes from, first off, a great product that is authentic and that can serve a purpose. The second part of that is having a great team and a network that believes in your product that
Absolutely.
can help you push it.
You have to know your market too, right?
And you have to know your market. And you have to be smart about where you executed. You took a risk at 3rd and Congress. Dude, I just got my office off 8th and Congress after being here for a few years. And I know the Congress real estate, I know the Congress
Well,
people.
granted, we're just in a food container at 3rd and Congress.
And
Yeah,
that's
how
why
late-
I'm saying
how late
it's
are
so
y'all
smart
open?
is
Yeah.
because the people on Congress are walking.
Sure,
You're grabbing them within that
Sure.
7 minutes
sure,
for a $7 hot dog
sure.
and a memory that they can eat on the next 7 to 10 minutes
Congregating
down
area
the
for
street.
the
Right?
yeah.
Everything in the Congress is within 6 blocks.
sure.
So
What are your hours there?
We're open from 11 in the morning to 3 p.m. and then on Friday and Saturdays open from the lunch period, and then we do late nights.
How late though?
7 to 3 a.m.
nice.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
you,
all-
you
that's
just
all
go
there.
for that drunk crowd.
We had a great
This
time.
is the best
That's
tube I've ever
Their
eaten.
curry ketchup
Man!
is better.
Yeah,
I've
it's-
been eating,
no, it
I've been
really is
eating the
good.
6.
You know, being
East
drunk and
for a
hungry
while.
is when
You know
food
what I'm
tastes the
talking about?
best.
Yeah, but
And
it
their
is-
curry
it is
ketchup's
good.
kind of what started it. You know, in this town.
Yeah, who was that again?
Best worst.
Oh yeah, best worst. Yeah,
It's staying right
It's been
there
a
on
long time
36.
since I
It's
ate
been
with
there
those
since a
guys.
minute. But their bratwurst curry
36.
ketchup, all that 36. Old school.
Yeah, I think
but you
that's-
guys are smart to come out on your spot because Congress Avenue is hip and hopping.
Well, it's a billboard for us. I think it's a great spot to advertise the brand, and then we've got our brick and mortar that we want to put on 6th and Congress. So.
Yeah,
If,
so
if there's one thing that I can say that I've been really impressed with Matt in starting this business is that you told me a few months ago about what your plan was, and so many times when I've talked to other folks about that, it's like the actual execution of the plan is a year and a half, 2 years down the road. You started within a couple months with the food
Well,
truck.
I call it our
I mean, you did-
conversation at the tail end of our effort. I mean, we did start this whole move last September, so it's been a lot of work before we got together.
But even with you pitching the business plan, like at that point when I've dealt with other people, it was still way down the
well, he's got
down
30
the
years
road.
experience in the finance world. He's seen a lot of business plans. And,
So-
knew what
And
he
I'm
needed
50
to do.
years old and I have a lot of
you're
time
not trying
left.
to fuck around. you got 12-year-old. You got 6 years for college. 6 years to write a
That's right.
six-figure check once a year.
Yeah. My finish
So-
line's a lot closer to the line.
So I was just really impressed at how much you are not fucking around. You
Well,
are
thank you.
doing this, and that's
Well, again, that
what-
takes authenticity, passion, hard
Passion.
work, a network,
yeah,
right? A good product, a smart market,
a
a
good
great location.
partner in life.
Yeah, good business partners.
Sure.
And the guy
Sure.
who wants to get in the, let's quote Gary Vee, but get in the fucking dirt and get in the
Yeah.
front corner and do the
Do it.
work.
Yeah.
Period
Yeah.
and statement. And then what we talked about here with actually like the authentic way of living with a life and how important it is to really pay attention to food that we consume. And that, guys, from the bottom of the day, sugar is the bad component.
I think we all agree with that without having to check any facts, but
No,
Yeah.
it is. Trust me.
yeah.
There's no label. Let's see.
So,
Anyways.
good shit.
Well, thank you.
Schaller
Guys.
Stube.
Schaller Stuba.
Schaller Stuba.
Stuba.
Schaller
Yeah.
Stuba. Stuba.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stuba.
and
Schaller
ahead.
I do all the social media posts, and now I've spelled Schlaller Stuba so much I know how to spell it. Stuba.
Schaller
Yeah.
Stuba.
Yeah, Stuba means room in German. I'm not sure if we mentioned that.
Room.
But,
Yeah, yeah.
Explains the
Schaller's room.
So yeah.
Well, this
Okay.
was episode 4 of the Uncommon Talk. Ryan Crater, Rob Tyson, Ross Bennett, Matt Neese.
Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.